Chapter 531. Elaine did not know that both Michael and Lucy had already begun plotting to rob her of her assets in the luxurious villa at Beacon Top that was owned by her son-in-law, Alex. She continued playing mahjong at Carton's villa with her friends until late at night, not even bothering to go home for dinner. The four ladies decided to order some KFC takeaways instead. They held onto the bucket of chicken as they enjoyed their chicken drumsticks and mahjong game. They could not stop smiling as they continued touching the mahjong tiles. Alex was already done preparing dinner and was enjoying a meal with his wife and father-in-law at this time. Emma could not help but complain when she saw that her mother was not home at all. After that, Emma said, "Dad, can you please start to control Mom occasionally? You should try to stop her from playing mahjong and gambling all the time." "Control her?" Trump snorted before he said, "I do not have the ability to do that. Why don't you try and control her instead? If I can actually control your mother, do you think I would be in this state today? Do you know the reason why your grandmother had always favored and doted on her uncle instead of me?" Emma was very surprised as she asked her father, "It cannot possibly be because of Mother, right?" "It is precisely because of her," Trump replied as he sighed. "In the beginning, your grandfather and grandmother did not allow me to get married to your mother. If your mother had not been pregnant with you, your grandfather would never have given in and compromised in the end." Alex was very surprised when he heard his father-in-law's words. He never expected his mother-in-law and the old man to actually have a baby before marriage. At this time, Trump continued telling Emma, "Actually, your grandmother has never liked your mother. This fact has not changed at all even after more than 20 years. Why?" Emma was very puzzled at this time. "Even if she has any dissatisfactions against my mother, shouldn't she already let go of all her prejudices after more than 20 years? Trump replied, "Your grandmother thinks that your mother is shrewd and looks down on your mother's family because they are relatively poorer." Emma could not help but sigh at this time. After that, she said, "I know that it is not right of me to say this, but I feel that my grandmother is not any better compared to my mother." "You are right." Trump nodded before he said, "I think that the main reason why your grandmother dislikes your mother so much is because she feels that she is remarkably too similar to herself." Emma rubbed her forehead gently before she muttered, "I think that what you said certainly makes sense." Alex did not say anything, but he could not help but agree with Trump's words in his heart. Lady Richard was the big devil and Elaine was the little devil. When the big devil grew older, she was afraid when she saw the little devil. She was afraid that as she grew older, the little devil would slowly become the big devil and then start oppressing her instead. So, that was the fundamental reason why Lady Richard had always tried to keep Elaine under her control. In fact, the relationship between a mother-in-law and daughter-in-law in this country was very delicate. However, in the final analysis, everything pointed to nothing more than one main point. A mother-in-law would always want to have absolute control over her daughter-in-law, and a daughter-in-law would always want to be free of her mother-in-law's control. This was especially so for a woman like Lady Richard, who had a strong desire to control and manipulate the people around her. Not many people could actually stand or tolerate her. At this time, the television that has been playing in the background suddenly showed a piece of news happening in Aurous Hill. The reporter said, "The following is a piece of emergency news. A few days ago, Fujisuki, the chairman of Suki Pharma, died in a freak accident in China. According to the Chinese media, the cause of Fujisuki's death was because he was poisoned by his eldest son, Yen Suki. News reports showed that Fujisuki took a drug with a strong excitatory effect which caused the heart to become overloaded, and he died of a sudden heart attack." The reporter continued speaking, "Interpol has received news that Yen Suki is currently hiding and seeking refuge in Aurous Hill. The Suki family is offering a reward of 3 billion yuan to anyone who can hunt Yen Suki down. Therefore, a large number of Chinese hitmen and gang members have entered Aurous Hill to hunt this man down. The police are also actively hunting the killers down in Aurous Hill. The police are requesting everyone to remain vigilant, and the citizens are advised to call the police immediately if you see any suspicious people. As soon as Trump heard the news, he smacked his lips together as he said, "This Yensuke is truly a beast. How could he kill his own father just because he wanted to inherit his family property?" Alex could not help but chuckle when he heard his father-in-law's words. Yensuke was not a beast, he was just being seriously wronged. He was actually a filial son who genuinely wanted to cure his father's high paraplegia.